of creating the distribution and logistics infrastructure in US. So we had been absorbing the tariff impact to a certain extent and passing on by certain extent. That strategy continues over Q3 and also Q4. We have not seen any drop in sales turnover, therefore, to the US, though it remains small, and impact on bottom line is muted. We see this as a very big growth market, so we stay invested in US. So that's the US part. No impact on bottom line, but we are setting it up for growth in future. Overall margins, if you see, standalone margins have inched up from 13.7 to 14.1% in this quarter because of higher turnover and growth. We expect the raw material situation to be flattish in Q4, maybe slight inflation of max up to 1%. So mostly flattish, maybe slight inflection. That is the kind of situation. By end of February, we will see an uptick in volumes, the seasonal volumes, which kicks in for the period of March to June, the summer volumes. So we expect the margin, overall margin for the company to move in similar zone.
All right, very quickly, sir. Your net debt is around 2,930 crores. Does this number stabilize around this mark? Because you've got a capex as well that's lined up. And would it be fair, going by your commentary and the capex that you're adding, that you will be looking at growing at least at mid-teens for the next couple of years?
Value growth this year, I can say, will be close to that, because first 3 quarters, as per published results, you can see we have grown by mid-teens. So we want to continue that trend for this year. Next year, it's too difficult to predict, 2 years at once, but we are laying the foundation, as US is one of the growth measures. We are laying the foundation for domestic growth in terms of OE approvals, as well as replacement channel expansion, especially in the premium side, which is the SUV side. So we are planning for at least double-digit growth going forward.
Mr. Banerjee, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Good speaking with you. And thank you for being here. We'll take a quick break. We're back. Mayuresh Joshi is going to be with us, Director of Research at Mark Smith India, for some fundamental stock conversation. We'll address some of the other results apart from CEAT with Mayuresh as well. Stay tuned.
Shadowfax Technologies Limited, India's fastest growing third-party logistics company, with 68% revenue growth year-on-year and over 50 crore annual deliveries across 14,700 plus Indian pin codes, now makes an initial public offering of equity shares of face value of 10 rupees each for cash at a premium. The 100% book built offer being offered in a price band of 118 to 124 rupees per equity share. Opens January 20th, closes January 22nd, 2026. For risk factors and more details, refer to the red herring prospectus.
That's Air India now.
टिंग टिंग आपके लिए एक फेस्टिवल ऑफर है। क्यूआर कोड स्कैन करो, यूपीआई पिन डालो और 10,000 रुपए आपके बैंक अकाउंट में।
पिन डालूंगा तो पैसा खट से आएगा नहीं, झट से कट जाएगा। मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
तालियां। यूपीआई कहता है यूपीआई पिन पैसे भेजने के लिए होता है, पाने के लिए नहीं। इस बात को याद रखें और कहें, मैं मूर्ख नहीं। जाइए, आप भी किसी का टेस्ट लीजिए।
With segment's first iSwipe touch gesture control, new urban tan interiors, sporty alloy wheels and redesigned grille. The all-new MG Hector, designed to surprise.
Okay, welcome back. 15 minutes to go for the pre-open session to kick off. Mayuresh Joshi is with us. Mayuresh, good morning. Just a pretty weak market, right? Breaking through some long-term averages on the Nifty yesterday. If you have a brief comment on the index itself, the Nifty, and there's a bit of a divergence. Bank Nifty has not even broken short-term moving averages. The Nifty, of course, is looking much worse. I guess because large stocks like Reliance, etc., have been very weak. So just a quick view, if you have it, and then we'll move on to some results reactions.
Morning, Prashant. No, I think we've got a unique way of mapping this through distribution days as we see it in markets with India. And those distribution days are actually inching up over the past few days and weeks, which is a very inherent sign that the pressure for the market probably continues. For a whole host of factors, primarily based in terms of how geopolitics is shaping up. And you're absolutely right. I think how the bank numbers have played out so far are probably emanating in terms of the bank Nifty probably doing well. Reliance was a decent set of numbers, yet I think the street probably reacted negatively yesterday. And therefore, I think we still believe that you probably should have a very sector and a stock specific approach as you approach these markets.
Any results stand out to you from last evening? CEAT reported, Havells, Hindustan Zinc, so many, right?
Absolutely, Prashant. So I think CEAT was a decent set, in my opinion. Havells disappointed to a certain extent. And in fact, one of their comments in the press release, it might be an eye-opener for consumer durable plays generally in Q3. That statement was that the demand remains probably modest with very uneven consumption. Cooling products, small appliances have seen pressure. Channel inventory was normalizing. And therefore, I think as input costs are heading higher, specifically copper prices, as you see, aluminum prices, as you see it, it's a pass-through, no doubt, but I think it probably increases the end product prices, even post-GST rationalization, which probably makes it a little bit of a concern from an immediate short-term perspective. Hindustan Zinc expected numbers were expected to be good. And therefore, I think how prices probably move in the coming quarter as well will largely determine how numbers will play forth in Q4. But in my opinion, again, I think decent set by both CEAT as well as Zinc. Havells largely disappointed.
Okay. Hi, Mayuresh. Good morning. Good to see you in. What about UPL? They're looking at unlocking some value, post the issue that they're likely to come out with. We're still waiting by in terms of valuations. But that's been one of the underperforming stocks, if I look at it over the last few years. Value is there, trades at a discount. But do you think you could gradually start getting positive on this name?
Morning, Nigel. Yes, and in fact, we've added that stock into our momentum portfolios. Our own sense is that outside the deal, if you probably look at the basic business construct that UPL operates out of, the expectations in terms of demand remaining steady should be a base case scenario. Obviously, I think expectations in terms of key input costs have largely remained benign, which probably makes us believe that margins, specifically on the operating front, should largely start holding out. And the key markets that they're now probably operating out of, that should show signs of resilience as we head into the next few quarters as well. So our own sense is that the basic EPS growth should start going up as we head into the next few quarters and exit FY27. That number might be far better than what we've probably seen exit 25. So yeah, remain optimistic on this one.
Sun Pharma, Mayuresh, I mean, others have reported, we've also reported, and there's some news that they've made a non-binding offer of a very large $10 billion acquisition in the US, Mayuresh. Have you looked at the details in terms of what it gets them? Usually large acquisitions, people get very wary very quickly. But basically, if they're able to pull this off, revenues double pretty much. Your thoughts?
No, you're right. And therefore, I think the whole scenario is the matrix that you built in as a base case and a bull case scenario. And therefore, from a bull case perspective, I think the numbers might look phenomenal. However, I think when you probably just have a constrained approach and look at the base case scenario and the existing business model, assuming that if this does not go through, I think they've got a few key molecules in place. A few of their molecules are going through phase 3 trials as we speak. And therefore, I think the monetization of these critical FTFs that Sun is expected to file and monetize thereafter might lead to significant amount of organic growth that they're driving themselves. Now, outside that, what probably happens in terms of the Organon Pharma acquisition might start adding up in terms of value as we head into the next few years, in terms of both synergies and new markets that probably open up, specifically in key areas and critical areas at that, where margins are relatively higher. That probably lays case for a bull case scenario. From a base case, I think they have plenty of their sleep, but they've also got concerns related to FDA and what they probably do with that as well. So I think it's an if-but scenario at this point.